me up there and I'll get you.
Yeah, I'll get him.
Right down there, I'll get him.
But there's nowhere to go. So he just tried to and you just like Graham is just automatic with his lobbies.
Yeah.
You know, he's got the real consolidated technique.
Actually, I do.
Not right now, but thank you for asking.
So he's like,
Huh?
give us
Huh? No Taylor Actor mac and cheese?
I'm with the sausage roll. I'm down with that. People are trying
Really? You can't run out here without
sausage roll.
so you've got your.
I will.
As long as you have your coffee.
Yeah. Like you have and the first set.
So number 2 seeds, Sven, and number 5. Okay, got it. The draw doesn't come up, I don't think, over here. And if not, I'll just start.
I think it's top here. He's loud.
Okay, good. Because we couldn't hear most of the time.
Because sometimes
Stephen Mitchell are the APTA national champions for the second year in a row.
There you have it, your women's APTA national champions, Florentina Harnish and Anna Maria Sabori.
Hey, Sean, do you think you could try to attach that to the... Hello and welcome to the APTA Tour. We are live from the Huntington Country Club in Huntington, New York, bringing you the 2022 APTA Men's and Women's National Championships, sponsored by the APTA membership, the APTA national sponsors, Viking and Paddle Pro, and local sponsor, Joe Cantillion, and Distributed Capital Partners, Signature Premier Properties, and Daddario and Company. I am Patty Hogan, along with the amazing Brad Easterbrook, bringing you the men's semifinal action between number 2 seed Sven Burris and Mikir Doya, and number 5 seed Tyler Fraser and Adam Morgan. Brad, can you introduce us to the players?
Absolutely. I'll do my best to be amazing, Patty, but let's take a look at these amazing players on the court. And we'll start actually with the top left of your screen, and that is Mikir Doya, the left-handed player. You can cut overhead that right there. And his partner, Sven Burris, on the top right of your screen. And on the bottom of your screen, on the bottom right, Adam Morgan from Chicago, Illinois, and his partner, Tyler Fraser from Cincinnati. And this is a really great matchup. You know, Fraser and Morgan are coming in hot. They played an amazing Philadelphia tournament where they lost 7-6 in the finals to Durant and Mitchell in the third set. And Burris and Doya are, we were talking about this a little bit, they've kind of almost been in the third year. They're playing really solid, but not specifically dynamic. But they've played really well. Burris was like a rock star yesterday. Did he do anything that you would go, wow, like, wow? But he didn't miss balls. He volleyed great. He was terrific with his, kind of waterfall overheads, and he served well, and he was just super solid. They're making teams beat them. But certainly Fraser and Morgan have the capability. I think Fraser hit about 8 cut drop winners in his in his quarterfinal win against Araya Parsons. So look forward to a good one, Patty.
Yeah, these guys, this will not be disappointing. This is going to be an incredible match. And the greatest thing about this match is half the people out here are picking Morgan Fraser, half the people out here are picking Doya and Burris. Yeah,
I think you're right, Patty. I mean, people I've talked to, and I have to look at it almost like a pick 'em as well. Fraser and Morgan probably. Burris and Doya are so good at the net, so solid. They cover so much ground. They're so long and athletic, and Burris and Doya have been doing a good job with the warm weather, letting the ball transition in, using their screen drives, not overplaying their positions too much.
Why don't we hear from our umpire for the introductions, Brad?
All right, Tom Peer, about to introduce the players.
Doya. On my left, Cincinnati, Ohio, Tyler Fraser. Next from Lake Bluff, Illinois, his partner, Adam Morgan. Burris and Doya won the toss. They elected to receive. Fraser Morgan set to serve.
All right, so we're about to get underway here, Patty. And
Brad, do you want to just talk quickly about how Burris and Doya got to this point in the draw real fast?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, they've been workmanlike throughout. You know, they have lost just a set, really, in their last match against Bostrom and Lepavera. It was a really great match. They came out, took the first set, and then Bostrom and Lepavera made adjustments and got on fire, took the second, and then we're up in this crucial moment, 2-1, and sort of rolling. And then Burris and Doya bared down and had a huge hold to get the 2-2, and then essentially from there, they ground them down, and the wheels came off on Boston Lipiver, and just a great job. They've been impossible to put away, and for Fraser and Morgan, they have just motored through the draw. I mean, 6-love, 6-love, 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, 6-2, and that's against a seeded team of Broderick and Christian. And then yesterday against Araya and Parsons, 6-3, 6-1. So they have been on fire, and I was about to mention that. I was talking with Steve Baird just briefly, and he says, you look at the draw, and you see the teams that are just motoring through it, and nobody's doing it better than Fraser and Morgan in this tournament so far. And they've equaled their semifinal run last year, beating Araya Parsons again. I mean, you have to say they have the hot hand, but you think Berger Doyer are just a bit in almost like third gear and are waiting to be extra tested, almost. I mean, it got tight yesterday, so here we go, Adam Morgan to serve. So really, you're seeing out of Berger Doyer what we've been seeing yesterday. They're just managing the heat, pushing the ball deep, using their positioning at the net, letting their opponents, eventually, basically just trying to keep it out of their power zones and stay under control. And when they get an opportunity, they'll hit occasional attacking overheads here and there. Oh, great volley there from Tyler Fraser. They've been getting to the net for Doyer. They've been using a lot of simple push overheads to the middle, keeping the ball out of the power zones, and actually allowing their opponents to attack, and then they're doing a great job transitioning back when they need to. They've been managing the warm weather well. And we'll see this again, Patty, throughout the day with Erdoya in the ad court. They did that a ton yesterday, and it was extremely effective. And one of the things that helped the Boston Lipiver was they stopped doing it as much, and they got back to it a little. It just helps because the right-handed players, right now you got the right-handed attacking Tyler Fraser overhead is going to go into that corner, and you put the Erdoya forehand there, and it presents a little bit more of a problem. Whenever you hang it, he hits it hard with that forehand.
Brad, I got to watch a lot of the Araya Parsons Fraser Morgan match yesterday, and Fraser Morgan were just so tough, and I think what makes them so tough is, when they get their opportunity, they take it. And when they get their opportunity, they take it. We see some teams who have a problem just executing in that moment, in that big-time moment. These guys just seem systematic about the shots. When they are going to crush a ball, I feel like they're making great decisions about those shots. And their execution was almost flawless yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, they're really firing on all cylinders, and you made a good point when you say the word crush it. Adam Morgan, he does crush the ball. I don't know if that just clipped the net a little there, but it was a slow little, almost like a duck. Almost looked like it was moving a little or something. Just catches Burrish.
Did Burrish think that ball was going to be hit harder?
I don't know. But Morgan, he actually is a hammer. And when the ball comes in his zone, he just nails it. He crushes. He doesn't use off-base drives that much. He comes after you with a big, heavy ball, and he can pull the trigger very well off a lot of balls.
Coming into this event, it's not surprising that these are the 4 teams in the semis, same 4 teams as last year's men's nationals. And after Morgan and Fraser almost took out Durant Mitchell in Philly, a lot of people said they think it's their time in this event. Maybe there are 5 teams everybody thought realistically could come through this draw and win the national championships. And Adam and Tyler are one of those teams.
All right, so good hold there
Brad Burris and Ardora started the year off with that great win, the dominant win at the Witch event, where they beat Hughes and Powers in the finals there. They won the Atlantic Classic, taking out Broderick Christian. They went to Chicago, lost quarters to Compton and McNerney. They went to Boston, they lost quarters to Humphreys and Osis Conning, yeah. And Short Hills, they went to the final and a rematch of last year's national championship, going out to Durant and Mitchell.
Great job there by Ardoya, pulling the trigger on a huge forehand. It's tricky. A lot of teams, because of the warm weather, are opting to serve and stay back. You see Ardoya waiting for the return, and it's an interesting thing at the returner. If you go soft and you hit it too soft, the guy's going to rip a drive right back at you. But if you hit it too hard, it's coming off the screen, and he's going to rip a drive right back at you. So you have to measure that. It's good to go for a spin return that's medium heavy, and go for the corners if you can, so he can get it to go off both screens. Like this one will be tougher for him to drive. He still makes it. That's a great advance to the net from Ardoya. He's fired up.
Totally fired up. Representing Montclair Golf Club and Sven Burst.
Yeah, they'll have
Essex
a
Fells.
ton of fans, you know, because there's probably a few Jersey people out here who made the drive over to Long Island. And Sven Burst spent some time working on Long Island. He's got a lot of fans here, so Burst Ardoya fan club travels.
I'm sure a lot of TVs are on in Cincinnati watching Tyler Fraser. He's the pro at the Camargo Club. And Adam Morgan out in Chicago. He's the director of platform tennis at the South Barrington Club.
Fraser taking one little practice serve, and we're ready to roll here. He's going with the open stance sidearm.
Just caught the line.
That was a good serve. I like it because it gives you a little angle, and he can spin the ball over to Ardoya. Great shot. He's going to drive it, but you got to hit that harder. He lets too much time for Ardoya to get in there. And a great move. Perfect lob. And then he takes the net. Ardoya playing terrific ball to start.
And Brad, here's a difference I see already from yesterday. You have Ardoya coming through a blitz. He had the ball of life on his forehand, and he tagged Tyler. He didn't go around him. You know, didn't hit the ball too hard. Just perfect placement that didn't let Fraser use his athleticism to get that ball back in play off the screens. And that's what Fraser and Morgan as a team do so well. Would scrappy be a good word for them, Brad?
Yeah, they're scrappy for sure. And they got all the pieces. Scrappy, dynamic, you know. Beautiful controlled balls. Nice. I was mentioning before, you're watching the drives today too, based on the warm weather. There's a lot of like medium pace soft drives. The players don't want to overhit, right? Because if you hit it too hard, it just goes back to the service line, and that's just over the net again, and that's a highlight reel. If we can get John Scott to get that for us, see if we can show that again. But that's one, and he hit about 8 or 9 yesterday. So let's say you have a match and it's whatever, 7-5, 7-6. If you hit 8 cuts, that's the difference in the match, right? That's a huge thing. Nope, great play from Burrish.
Yeah, Brad, and that's where, you know, when we saw Raya years ago put those extraordinary variety of spins on the shots and ended points with an overhead. That was part of the transition in this whole game, how the game is played.
Morgan he's just reading that, and he stuffs the volley behind him. 15-40. First look at a break.
Would you say Ardoya is ready, Brad?
Oh, he's playing great so far.
You just see that look in him.
He's not forcing that return. Like, he could try to move up the wire and hit a huge forehand. He's happy to lob. They know in this weather that eventually they're going to get a ball. Great shot at the crease there. You got to do more of that. you don't get a good ball to cut or do action, and you haven't moved out, go for that corner. Go for the crease.
Yep, and is Erdoya looking right into the sun, Brad, over on that side?
Erdoya's okay, but yes, if he is looking into the sun if he gets it to the side screen or right at the corner.
Yeah, he just missed that shot. It looked a little awkward.
Great shot from Fraser getting it back to Deuce and Morgan. Great ball, and that's so hard. See, that's the thing, managing the pace. Certainly wasn't a bad shot by Morgan, but the players are being smart. They're not trying to volley him. Unless it's soft enough, and that was. Burris just lobbing. Three-quarter drive, bringing him back in. He's waiting for the ball to get shorter or waiting for that one, for the Erdoya forehand to do the damage. He was so solid yesterday. Oh, that's just a great ball.
Oh my gosh, the perfect nick just stayed along that side screen.
I mean, it was a perfect shot. All right, break point again. And he developed that, hopefully he thought it through yesterday, because he was hitting all his rollers at the first post, which is normally a decent spot. But in this warm weather, go right for the corner. And he did it there, and it's a huge difference. It'll be a difference maker in this match if he's able to keep it going. Oh, Fraser. You got away with one there, but great hands.
Really like what I see as well from Burris here in the early going. He's got a real calm demeanor out there, and you can see he's going to work on the up the line shot, lobbing Adam Morgan, setting up the Erdoya forehand potentially.
He's using a diet of like just these half-pace drives, but he's mixing them in, keeping them off balance, and then that's the #1 weapon. You've got to be careful, and this is why it works so well when you put Erdoya over there, because Fraser's going to still try to cut it into that screen, but as soon as he hangs it up, Erdoya just thumps it down. Did that hit the net, Patty? Not sure. He just basically whiffed it. All right, so our first break. Great job from them.
Brett, I think Morgan thought he was going to volley that ball. And I think maybe he thought he was going to drop shot off his backhand. I'm not sure. And then Tyler had other ideas.
Oh, and so he backed off at the last second,
So
Fraser could come in, and they just did. There was more of a miscommunication.
Yeah, I think it was total miscommunication because it was exactly what Fraser wanted.
Yeah, that's a perfect ball, 2-cut slash. But anyway, the miscommunication leads to first break of the match. Burris Erdoya, rock solid. It's the way they've been throughout the tournament. Workmanlike, lobbing beautifully, three-quarter pace drives until they get the high Erdoya forehand. Ooh. We'll see if they can employ some Fraser blitzes here. Very effective yesterday, Bostrom and with Bostrom driving and Lipiver blitzing. You know, Fraser has great blitz capability as well. He's going to have to rely on, that's just a good ball.
Well, it looks like Erdoya and Burris are, already playing in a little closer to the net. Sometimes you see them play off on their volleys, but it looks like they know when when Fraser and Morgan are teeing up, it looks like they're going to commit to, going in, and they don't care about a lob over their head in this weather, Brad.
Right. No, I agree, and we were talking about that yesterday in their quarterfinal victory. That was one of the keys to them taking it over. They started getting a little closer, and they were able to put away a few volleys, because the only way you can stop the blitz, you either get closer and volley down at the guys, or you have to get out of the way. If you volley up and the other player's coming forward, it's a tricky situation for you. Burse has been extremely effective with his waterfall overheads. And you notice we haven't seen, how many spin overheads have we seen Burse or Doya try to hit?
Not that many.
Right, and we're not going to see it. We're going to see them continue to push the ball down. I mean, maybe once in a while they get an easy ball, they're going to go for it, but they want to not speed it up. They want to just play this perfect pace and let the other team try to beat them. I think it's really smart.
A little nervous serving game here for Burse.
Great roller there from Erdoya.
Yeah, a winning shot like that helps. That'll help anybody serve right now, Brad.
Right at the crease, good try. It's going to get hit. Yep. Oh, seam. Great job from Erdoya.
Oh.
Yeah, that's good playing.
It's going to be a contest who makes the most amount of spectacular gets in this match.
Wow. Just digging balls out. Right and left, Erdoya. Oh, high to the forehand. So many of these down-up overheads. You think, Morgan and Fraser are going to have to move up the wire a little, try to get occasional spike here and there. Burse also done a really good job holding it. When they do, he tends to push it to the middle, but I think we got to do that every now and then. Great blitz there.
Yeah, Morgan was over in that ad court, Brad, so I'm not sure he's got that reach on his two-handed when the ball's moving away from him in that ad court corner. I think he can pummel, when the ball's coming up the middle in his two-handed backhand when he's in the deuce court.
That's good. He is going right for that corner. I love seeing that. And of course, on our other YouTube channel, there's a great blitz there from Fraser, recognized by Burse. We got Durant and Mitchell, the 1 seeds against Hughes and Powers. We'll see if we can occasionally get a score from that one as well.
Brad, doesn't it feel like Erdoya and Burse are absolutely comfortable, had a perfect game plan, and are executing right now?
Yeah, they're locked in, and I'm sure Morgan and Fraser want to play a much more attack-based game. Right now, we saw blitz on the point before, but how much of Fraser's offense have we really seen? Great ball there. Not really that much. That's been meaningful, occasional blitz here and there, because they're just playing this perfect pace of slow overheads, getting in position, push it back. They're making the other teams have to work for every point.
Yeah, but look at the volume so far in this match.
Yeah.
You got the lefty-righty. Oftentimes that's a problem spot for a lot of level players, not for these guys. They're the greatest in the game. And, Mick and Sven both. A little bit more Sven, Mick Erdoya. He'll flip over and go to that forehand volley, and he plays the volleys like no other lefty I've seen, and is quite remarkable.
All right, it's a good battle game. Morgan had a couple of break points there. Haven't been able to convert. Burris missed a couple of bigger serves. He's just going with putting it in the box right now. Oh, that's a big ball there. Right on the line. It's another great waterfall. Third penalty slam waterfalls. Beautiful done.
Yeah, and you see right there, Morgan Fraser immediately switched back to their normal sides, Brad, which I think is the play. Fraser's unbelievable out of that ad court. I would never give up him going over the deuce. I'm not sure that that's going to help him.
Another great waterfall. And here we go, just the diet of push overheads, and then you're going to see the same thing kind of repeat itself. Morgan and Fraser will go with a litany of drives, but they're not giving them anything that's easy to hit from high to low. It's all pushed. They're back in net, and then they're volleying it back. And Fraser's looking for a blitz opportunity, but there's nothing there. And they're working Morgan right now. That's just perfect push overheads.
Brad, who will pull the trigger sooner from the baseline? Will it be Morgan or will it be Fraser when they get repeated opportunities?
That's a great question. I'm not even sure. I don't know the answer to that. I mean, Morgan will hit anything he thinks is there. Fraser's got more discipline, and not in a bad way. Morgan just, he can drive. But right now, it's not a question of what they're getting to drive. It's that the other team's just right there on the net anyway. And how hard are they going to hit it? How are they going to actually apply the pressure? Right now, it's just they're taking all the air out of the ball, Berger, and making them beat him with. They're going to eventually pull a trigger, and that's like a three-quarter drive. And have they even looked bothered on any of it, right? You know, so it's perfect strategy. They're willing to make the other team beat them, and it's so warm out. If they blast it through them, they just let it go.
And that's
or there it is for the winners. He finally pulls the trigger, Patty, and it goes against him, right? Because where's Urdoya? He's an inch from the net.
And Fraser and Urdoya do a similar thing, Brad, where they'll hit a shot and just tempt the other guy. They reel him in to bring the ball. And you could see how Urdoya just closed in. He hits aggressive forehand volley, Brad, and he hit it off the snowboard. It's almost the only unreturnable ball in platform tennis.
This is perfect pace, warm weather paddle. They're dumping the ball in, playing great position, and there they go. Awesome job with another waterfall. He gets it to fall against the side wire. They're up 3-1, and it's got to be a little frustrating for Fraser and Morgan. They've run through this draw by attacking players, not just grinding. You know, a lot of attack, a lot of play. They've found nothing to attack from Berger, and every time they've tried, Berger have got the answers, volleying it back or attacking right back on being on top of the net.
Well, we are in the semis of nationals. Urdoya and Burrs, finalists last year. They're incredible players, and you know, no disrespect to yesterday's match with Parsons Araya, but Araya, you know, pulled his calf in Philly.
Sure.
And had to play a little different style. Didn't have his usual movement. I mean, I thought he handled himself beautifully out there. But they just were not ultra competitive in that second set. And
right.
Morgan and Fraser kind of glided through that second set, I thought. But you know, you're facing Burrs and Urdoya, and you can just feel with Urdoya when he walks on the court. You know, his demeanor when he is zeroed in and he is dialed in. I could just tell when he got out of his car this morning.
Oh, they're playing great. Now that is the first time we've seen him hit a spin overhead, and it actually works against him. What's been killing the other team is just pushing it back,
right,
and then getting on the net. I think the more they speed this up, the worse it's going to get for Bursch or Doyle. That's a great transition ball there from Bursch.
And I agree with you, Brad, and I think the play is like 80% into that deuce corner.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely working Morgan. Soft, soft. Then they get a waterfall in there. And then it's, you know, And Burris hit 3/4 drives until they get the high Erdoya forehand, and then he does, does a lot of damage with that. There's a switch in the backcourt. Oh, and just too good a ball there from Fraser. Hits it right into the corner. It basically ricochets right into Erdoya's head. Can't make it.
We've not seen Burrs play a lot. He's got one of the sweetest two-handed backhands in the game, and Mick's got that dialed in look. Burrs is totally dialed in. It's just his demeanor is almost totally the opposite of Erdoya's out here. And he's playing an exceptional first 4 games of this match, I think.
Well,
he had
how
2
many
serving
errors?
goofs, but that's it. Everything else has been so smooth.
Right. How many errors have we seen Burrs or Erdoya make as a team? I'm just almost none.
Yeah, I think Mick missed 2 screens.
I mean, there's one there. I mean, always the announcer's curse, but
right.
He misses a screen drive there, but they're just playing lights out, but not in that dynamic way, right? They're making the other team beat them and giving them nothing. It's a perfect sort of paddle 101. Push overheads deep, use the attacking waterfall when he gets it. Lock down the net. And then have the discipline and patience to stay with it. And there's the other school's thought. We talked about Fraser and Morgan motoring through the draw, right? 6-2, 6-1, 6-2. They didn't get tested in the ball before. There is something to be said to having a test as well, to facing your, a grind or a tough test.
Yeah, and they definitely had the test from Parsons Araya in the first set yesterday, but then, wasn't the greatest second set. And they only played 1 match yesterday, Brad, so
right.
maybe that works against them a tiny bit.
Oh, that's too good from Fraser. Sharp angle drop. And Burris can't get there. 3 frame, just couldn't quite reach out with those good length. Yeah, it's just so good. Just spotting that drive, the high Erdoya forehand.
You surprised Burrs didn't take a swing at that ball with his backhand? He just put the ball in play, lob?
No, that's what Burris has been doing. He's just playing rocks out, only taking 3/4 drive, and they're rocking it 4-1. And the idea, I think, for Burris is to be the rock of the team, and he's hitting some offensive shots off the screen, but then wait for that Erdoya forehand to be sort of the difference maker kind of thing. And he's doing it perfectly. It's not role-playing per se, but it's a perfect combination of teamwork, right?
Brad, that's spot-on analysis as always. And
thank you, Patty.
You are the man, Brad. Hey, real fast, quick shout-out to Huntington Country Club, Lisa Redloff, Tim Mangan, Jay Healy, and, of course, the one and only Dwayne Hayden.
Absolutely.
Gracious hosts of the 2022 National Championships. Have this beautiful background here at Huntington Country Club.
I think that hit the seam, and it kind of shot into Erdoya. Great shot there from Morgan. And right now, Burris and Erdoya have locked down the pace of this match. And, I mean, could you say that Fraser and Morgan are playing poorly? Not really. They just don't know what to do. It's almost like Burris and Erdoya have put him in like a straitjacket. They're not able to get movement going. They can't get in any attack. They're hitting the slow ones. They're not getting a ton of purchase, and then eventually they're making some mistakes. They're going to have to be equally as disciplined, and they may have to just grind this out because at this point, eventually they're making a mistake too, and they're giving a high forehand there to Erdoya. Every time Fraser's gone, he's made maybe 1 or 2 blitzes, but lost 4 or 5, right? So it's not a winning strategy yet because Burris and Ardoya are controlling the pace, and they're just going to have to recognize that maybe we got to grind this out. It's either that or they're going to hope for a moment when all of a sudden, Ardoya gets that high four and he just nets it, and he nets 2 or 3, and then they capitalize like on a few errors. But right now, Burris Ardoya giving them nothing.
Feel a little frustration out of Morgan Fraser here.
Yeah.
When you watch them, Brad, Fraser just is lights out when Morgan can set him up out of that deuce court. And the volleying of Ardoya and Burris and the placement of their overheads totally negating that option for Fraser and Morgan right now.
I think they're stymied. Right now they don't know what to do. If I'm them, I take a moment and say, okay, this is what they're doing. How are we going to counter that? It's nice to actually have a conversation about those kind of things beforehand, because teams do change what they do. And it's almost nice to say, like, all right, if they're doing this, we're going to do X. If they're doing Y. You have to be yourself. You have to play your game. But right now, Burris and Ardoya are controlling all the tempo.
Brad, it's just a lack of pace. They're just not giving these guys anything, like you said.
Perfect push overheads, and then 3/4 drive. That's not going to amount to a blitz. You got to hit that thing. And then perfect waterfalls when he gets a chance. I mean, look at that. He's gotten Morgan 5 times on that waterfall. And then they have a plan. When they're going to go, they're dumping it into Morgan. And because they're giving him nothing, he can't generate enough. I'm surprised he's not, taking a little bigger cut at it, and they're getting no Fraser blitzes.
I'd almost love to see Morgan shock these guys and blitz himself instead of waiting for, he's got to find another formula, like you said, to picking up some points here.
All right, so here we are. Coming down to it, basically, other than 1 or 2 shots, errorless set from Burris Ardoya. Perfect little screen drive. I tell you though, if I see Ardoya get a high forehand, they've got to change that. It's a real huge mistake for Fraser and Morgan. Anytime you see Ardoya get a high forehand, they're making a mistake. It's that simple. They got to let it drop or do something a little different with it. You may see a switch in the backcourt here. Good drop volley there from Morgan. Spinning Morgan around. Yeah, Morgan's a hard worker in the screens. He's not that fluid, effortless thing. He'll move around. Got him a few times, but that's their strategy, definitely to work Morgan in the screens when they get to net.
Just the quickness of Ardoya, Brad, just to cover the spots that look like he's not there, and then he's there. And Ardoya is just loving this match, Brad. It's just feeding into all of his strengths.
See, he's got to let that go. He's diving all over.
Yeah, he's got to settle and maybe let the harder ones go by and bring Tyler into it.
Yes.
Yeah, Brad, that's a great call.
He's almost not in this match. And I don't mean, he's just getting little to work with. And they're going after Morgan in the backcourt. And he's not able to hit the drive in a way to set up a Fraser blitz. There's an attempt, but again, perfectly volleyed.
Have they missed a volley, Brett? One volley?
I don't think a single.
It's incredible.
0. They've only put away volleys or not missed them. They're lights out. Great hands there from Tyler Fraser. Good play. Nice push overhead behind. There's some positive. Keep building it. I think at this point in time, Fraser and Morgan, they just got to get positive, stay up. You know, take a minute, show some positive body language. See if we can get a score from the Hughes Powers and Durant Mitchell match. Blitz there from Burish. Oh! He finally guesses wrong. He gets him to stretch. Can't come up with the goods.
Yeah, really good shot. You know, clearly Ardoya was looking up the line. Probably could have let that ball go through and trust his buddy Sven to come up with that.
Just perfect play, deep lob, and quick blitz behind it on the transition ball. Easy power backhand through the middle. Set point. So Durant and Mitchell up 5-4 in their set against Hughes and Powers. Some scores going there if you want to check it out. It's on our other YouTube channel, APTA Network presented by eNet Live. Gosh, just a beautiful lob. They are dialed in on the heat. It's not easy to hit everything. Just they've been playing perfect warm weather paddle and have such a good, solid game plan. Fraser's even, he's standing in the middle of the court trying to get involved, and they're not letting him. They're just going to watch this, boop, and they'll go behind him here and there, and he's trying, here he goes, trying to make something happen, freezing him out. Can't quite do it. Eventually he's going to overplay, and they're that was a good move. They're going to need more of that. I actually like Fraser standing in a little. But
again, I like that shot from Burris right at Fraser instead of going open court, letting him make a super athletic play.
It's a nice drive there from Morgan. They just got a good game plan. They're going to go at Morgan, and they're hitting it so soft he can't add anything to get back in position. And just taking Fraser out of the game.
And you're saying he can't add anything, Brad. Some of these guys, you can say, generate their own pace. Ardoya doesn't need pace from his opponents to generate any of his own pace, where Morgan feeds off the pace.
It seems that way right now. They're hitting him slow ones, and he's not able to generate much of anything against their position at that. Just a missed lob there on another set point, so 2 set points saved.
Yeah, and what I mean by that, Brett, is just it seems like, you know, the more pace that comes on Morgan,
sure,
that fuels his offensive abilities.
Yeah, no.
Off his drives.
You're probably right, and it's certainly looking that way right now for sure. You know, you see the guys like the Durants and the Powers with the quick release forehands who generate incredible acceleration from minimal spots. Morgan's got more of a longer swing, right? It's a little bit longer, and it's not that quick set the wrist and just boom, accelerate and fly the racket head through. So he hasn't been able to generate that much, and right now they're just working it over. They have a perfect plan. And there it goes. How about that game and first set for Burish Ardoya. And now would be a great time. We'll talk about that set briefly to talk about one of our great sponsors, Viking, and introducing the Viking Axe. Bold, unique, innovative, groundbreaking. A perfect blend of both worlds. All axe models combine the superb maneuverability of the O-zones with the oversized head and stability of the reignites. At 88.9 square inches, it's a true oversized frame, but specifically designed with a longer handle to accommodate the two-handed backhand, one of the most important shots in the modern game. Featuring Viking's proprietary carbon throat stability system, CTSS, for enhanced stability and shock reduction to contact, the axe has a massive sweet spot that is very forgiving for balls hit outside of the sweet spot. Viking rule the court, and Patty, let's talk about that first set. I mean, this is a masterclass in paddle 101, sort of.
Dream set for Fraser, nightmare for.
Yeah,
Fraser
that is
Morgan.
your worst nightmare. I mean, nightmare really for both of them, in the sense that Morgan's getting 90% of the balls, and he's not coming up with the goods, and they've beaten him in the screens a few times. And Fraser just nightmare because he can't get involved. He can't do anything. You know, he's got zero effect on this match. And Bersadoya just perfectly placing their overheads, nonchalantly soft and deep, burst, hitting the waterfall when he needs to create some movement. Any transition ball, and whether they're in the back or the front, they've got it covered. In the back, Burris just rock solid if they go at him. If he's hitting three-quarter drives or taking the spot drive in, and anytime, you know, Doria gets a high forehand in the middle or wherever he is, he hits it through. It's just masterclass.
I love that, Brad. It's a masterclass.
Yeah, no,
It's
absolutely. Don't they have those things now? The master class on whatever,
Well,
Netflix or something, or you can get a subscription to. Well, actually, we just got a report in. Durant Mitchell, 6-4 first set against Hughes and Powers.
Brad, I think I've seen you in that masterclass, the aerobics at the Y.
Yes, the aerobics.
I think you're
and
that
that's
guy I've seen in the back.
I'm in the hot class,
The hot yoga class.
a hot yoga class for me. And why does John keep saying water?
The
aerobics?
water aerobics.
Because of the old man. What are you saying, John?
I think we announcers
Producer
might
John?
sink in that class.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. But anyway, so, I mean, just literally a flawless set from Bersadoya in tactics. You wouldn't go and say that was dynamic or that was this or that. What they did is gave them nothing, put them in a straitjacket, like I said before, and they have a game plan. And Fraser and Morgan, they seemingly have no contingency for this right now.
Yeah,
We'll have to see.
Yep, Brad. I don't see that they've made any tactical adjustments yet to this match, and
I think they're
you
still a
know they
little
might be
shell-shocked.
shocked. Yeah,
Yes, shell-shocked.
I think they are shocked at that 6-1 set.
Right. And now look, it's 2 out of 3 sets, and we've seen, and Burris and Odoya also played flawlessly, meaning every time they hit a screen drive, they literally didn't miss balls. They didn't miss a volley, they didn't miss a screen drive, maybe 1 or 2 on the set. So you have to assume, even if they keep the same tactics or everything's perfect, that they might miss a couple more balls. Just
They
because
might
they didn't
miss
miss
a
any.
volley, Brad.
They might miss a couple more balls, right?
Right.
Just miss. And because, and then Morgan, hopefully, and Fraser will be able to capitalize and have a better sense of how they're going to go about this set. But right now, if Morgan's not going to be able to generate anything off of those soft overheads, they're going to have to basically just literally grind like no one's ever ground before. You know, they're going to have to just, you know,
They're going to have the greatest comeback right now.
Well, I mean, you know, Bertrand can aid that by missing a few, but we haven't seen him do it yet.
And Brad, their level of play, you know, can they sustain it? Yes, I actually think there's no doubt in my mind.
They haven't
that
done anything that's out of, you know, they're not doing anything spectacular in the sense of, like, they're just playing exactly the right way. They're not stretching themselves. You don't see, like, either one of them flying all over court, except for in the right moments when they're transitioning in. So here we go, start of the second set.
Burris starting to serve there. He had one shaky serving game in there and steadied it out. So, Coach Brad, can I put you on the spot here?
Sure.
Okay. So, what do you tell Adam and Tyler here, Brad?
Oh, I think they got to start. I mean, they can't. Switching the backcourt's not actually something to do. You know, for them, I think they either have to decide to completely grind and take certain shots out. Take the entire, anytime, like, see that. Why is he getting a forehand in the middle there? You know, you got to find the spots you want to hit it to. Hit it long and deep towards your Udoya backhand. Find your safe spot. It's not the middle. Anything high to Udoya's forehand. It's not that, right? You got to find long, and you got to find the Udoya backhand and the slow, deep first forehand. The problem is when they're like this, the Burrish forehand, he's been hitting these three-quarter drives. And then you got to hit it slow enough so you're back in on the net so he's not getting you with the three-quarter drives. And other than that, you're just going to have to strap in. Because I don't know how they're going to play that much faster to help themselves out. You know, at this point, I think they're, you know, Burrish or Udoya have just controlled this tempo. They can't just start ripping balls.
Right, and you know, early on in this match, I saw Udoya and Burrish close the net. And every single time, they're doing a great job of closing, taking away a little bit of that reaction time from Tyler Fraser.
And we've seen Tyler Fraser make about 7 or 8 blitzes, and he's probably won 2, right? It's clearly been on the other end of things for Burrish or Udoya. They just have the answers.
Brad, we love the setting of Huntington Country Club here. And a great thing this weekend. All the Hall of Famers back in town, all the people that we've seen. You know, we love coming to Nationals to see everyone. I love seeing your daughter Sean here. She's a paddle fan. I feel like she grew up with us at these tournaments.
She
was out here yesterday
here.
watching for about 15 hours. Well, maybe not 15, but a lot, Brad. And, you know, that's what makes, for me, it's the experience of watching spectacular play and also seeing all my favorite people.
Doing such a good job working over Morgan.
And you said it earlier, Brad. I didn't expand on it, but I'm going to right now. They just have Morgan spinning around.
They're just crucifying him in the screens. And it's not with, they haven't spinning around, but with waterfalls and rollers, not the cuts. You know, they're not really using any cuts, very few. I mean, there's been a couple.
Right, that ball hit
waterfalls,
off the seam
rollers,
and
and
just
slow balls.
Yeah.
Slow balls. Slow balls aren't spinning around. They're just baiting him into a drive, and they're just volleying perfectly. They can't get rid of the volleys. They can't find a way to make him reach, generate enough action off these average push overheads. Like just like that. Yeah, push, volley. And these three-quarter drives aren't really doing much to Burrish or Udoya because they're on top of the net. You have to lob them back much better, but then Burrish or Udoya do a perfect job hitting push overheads, and again, blitz, but not from a strength of advantage. That was an even up blitz at best. At best.
You know, last night, Compton McNerney playing against, you know, in their quarter, I felt that, you know, the lobbing became a factor, and I think with Morgan Fraser here, they've got to, I think they've got to lob better. I think they can air some out. I saw, you know, Tyler launch one high, Adams, you know, launch one high. Sometimes I like that strategy, Brad.
Well, look, anytime you're struggling from the backcourt, always a good answer is lob better, and they can. But I think for Burrish or Udoya, they've just done such a great job of pushing. When they've lobbed better, what are Burrish or Udoya? They just go back, push overhead soft and deep, right to a safety spot, close back in, and
yeah,
lobbing better is going to be, of course, a good thing. And anytime they take it a strike out of position, Burrish or Udoya let it go through, transition back. It's almost like they have to lob better, but with a combination of something else. Because Burrish or Udoya are just dumping it back, getting back into the net. They have all the answers right now.
Well, they've got to bring the Fraser blitz from the ad court in. So, I don't know, maybe Tyler's got to see if he can't lob Burrish back deep or Adam a little bit more up the line of Burrish.
I mean,
for
right
Tyler
now,
to get his looks.
I think it's got to be, Morgan's got to find a way to deliver something in this match, you know, because they're going to him. And they're working him over good in the screens, and
see the
without his
from
backcourt, yeah, perfect. Well, he's saying he's a poser, but without that sort of offense, And just another perfect transition ball back. I mean, you know, and they just never miss. That's a good ball right at the crease. The perfect waterfall. Those are good blocks from Fraser. He lost it in the sun. Yeah, just try to hold, keep it close at this point, I think, and work your way into it. Sort of at a little bit of loss myself for how they're gonna. That's just great volleying from. Look at that, nonplussed.
Yep.
Fraser attack and just pushes it away, and then the roller at the corner.
How about you play keep away from Nick Erdoya, Brad?
I mean, but that one there was a combination. They've been doing it perfectly, the two of them. All right, so Powers Hughes making a little run in the second set, up 3-love after losing the first set 6-4 to Durant and Mitchell.
I felt that match was just destined for 3 sets, Brad.
Yeah, they played 3 the last time they played in the Short Hills. Powers Hughes actually played out almost flawless first set, but bringing heavy offense and cutters and the whole works. And they got that combined with an error 2 out of, not a lot, but you know, Powers Hughes just played a flawless first set and then sort of level dropped just enough. And Durant and Mitchell were able to take that in 3 sets, but it was a great match, very exciting paddle in Short Hills.
So I like this pace. Hit to burst in that ad court, not a lot of pace.
Yep, but he's done a great job. See, but the difference is you watch when they're doing it, he'll still move back and try to hit it a little harder. So Morgan's got to be back on the net. Where they've actually gotten them is like where he hits and he's not right back on the net when that hit hits. So even that one, he's volleying and pushing down. Just beautiful. I mean, just unreal stuff.
Erdoya, this is amazing.
Yeah, but both of them. I mean, you know, Bursch Erdoya are lights out right now.
But I feel like Erdoya is hurting them much more than Burst. Burst is subtle.
Yeah, no,
really subtle
absolutely.
Mastery right now.
Absolutely.
Where Erdoya is his power. Quickness.
With a forehand with a blitz behind it, he's made about 10 of those 4As, and there's number 11. Oh, way in. Great dig there from Bursch. And at the net, whenever they take the net, they just lock it down. I don't think they've missed maybe 1 volley on the day. But I don't know why every ball is not going towards
Burst.
No, well, Bursch, sure.
Into
but
his body, maybe.
Or if it goes anywhere near the center, Erdoya hits a forehand.
Right.
You just take the center out of your play.
Yep.
Whatever your mindset is, don't hit it in the center. Hit every ball on the single sideline at the very least towards Erdoya's backhand if you're going anywhere near him. You know what I mean? You got to just push it way over there. You got to take the center out. He just like lurking around for every forehand in the middle.
And people say, well, you've got to avoid the burst, 2-handed backhand, so you go towards forehand, but not true on a warm day.
Well, it's you just got to be careful. If you're going to go at the burst forehand, that's fine, but maybe push it long and low through the court. You can't leave the ball hanging anywhere in the center. Got a visit here from Ann Waldron and Jerry Viant. Oh, just firing on all cylinders right now. It's going good. And
Brad, I just don't see how they stop this now.
well, I mean, we haven't seen any answers yet. And you would like to think, I mean, maybe it's just one of these matches where you go off, you know, the old great tennis coach Brad Gilbert used to say there's, you know, a time you play and you can beat anybody, a time you play and you can lose to anybody, and what's in between is what makes you a player. I mean, this could be the time where Bursch or Erdoya just are going to beat anybody. You know, who knows? They haven't missed a ball, and they have a perfect, but it's also their tactics. They have perfect tactics. And I actually have to see, Berkshire Doya is second seed here, and Durant and Mitchell are the first seed. Now, both teams have the capacity to be dynamic, but both teams this year have done a great job actually just playing basic paddle, meaning I think Durant and Mitchell have been committed also to allowing players to try to beat them, letting players try to beat them, not always forcing the action themselves, but seeing who can actually just be better than they are. And for the most part on the season, when they've been like all there, people haven't been able to do it. Yeah, see in there, just the no pace ball. He's not able to generate. It's tough.
You know, and that's the look. And Adam did not miss that shot yesterday.
Yeah, but it's a different ball where they're going to play that ball with more spin and more something else. Or was it the same ball? I mean, I didn't actually see that match.
Yeah, pretty similar, I would say. I mean, that was, would you say, how many good looks has Adam gotten in this match where he has dictated play? I feel like he's been in pure reaction mode and just hanging on for dear life in this match.
Well, some of it, yes, but that, would you say that was a bad look?
No, I liked it.
It's a decent look. He just wasn't able to execute. And when he's hit the ball, it's not like he's missed every drive that's come his way, but when he's hit the ball, has any of his shots really had any effect on Berkshire Doya? They either volley back easily, or they go through, transition back, hit it back again, and come back to the net. You know, there's sometimes it'll be a transition back and forth. It's just that Berkshire Doya had the answer on every side of it. The drive hasn't done anything, and he's not generating enough with it to attack. Like, Doya is doing damage when he hits his forehand. You know, Morgan's not doing damage right now. So maybe they got to grind more. Or maybe after this match, you just go home and say, somebody hit me 8,000 soft balls, and I'm going to generate my own pace. You know?
And that frustration ekes in. You know, there's Morgan missed that reaching volley. I mean, he didn't miss one of those volleys in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Different circumstances, Brad, at Nationals, for sure.
Yeah, and Fraser, you know, we talked about him hitting 8 cuts in the match before. Different match. He's hit 1 cut in the beginning for a winner, but basically he's almost invisible. And I'm not sure it's 100% his fault. I don't know how he's going to get himself into it. You know, it's been tough. Yeah, there he's just smashing it just to make the change happen. Gets in transition, but again, perfectly played from Berkshire Doya.
Yeah, you know, part of Fraser, when he loves to play, he likes to bait his opponents into shots. And I just think the athleticism that you get out of Doya and Burse, you know, they can react to all of those shots.
Ooh, I think that was a sun miss
shots
from Morgan. Sun miss. We saw that one before from Burrish. It's 4-love.
So
just
shocking.
I mean,
6-1, 4-love. Burris or Doya.
It's
wow.
actually, if you think about it, it's shocking in the sense like a lot of people had it the other way. Like there were at least 50% of the people were picking, you know, Morgan Fraser. People around the block talking about it, but the quality of play from Burris or Doya combined with their tactics, you know, nobody saw it this way. You know, and their quality of play combined with tactics have just been perfect.
They've just dictated every point in this match.
Oh, and then you got Fraser. Now you just start feeling the pressure, and he just flips that one out.
Brad, it's a little windy here.
Yeah, it's gotten breezy.
Is that the first or second point Fraser's gotten? He's won on a blitz against these guys in the volley.
I mean, there have been a couple, but it's clearly on the other side of the coin. I mean, Berger obviously they won every game but one. So.
All right, little spark, Brad. That's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened on a platform tennis court.
Oh, for sure. No, I've won 10 games in a row and lost the match. There's no question. It's happened. 6-love, 4-love. Yeah. We usually try not to talk about those losses after them.
What year was
But,
that, Brad? What day was that in January?
Actually, the last time was a league match, believe it or not. Yeah, but it was funny.
Can you ask them to move? Can you ask them? Thanks. You can see the strategy from Erdoya and Burrs continues. They started this match, played 90% of the balls over to Morgan in the deuce court. Really freezing Fraser out of this match on a warm day.
Yeah, at least it's a nice warm day. He's getting a tan, a little vitamin D. Sunny and nice out.
Brad, that's great that you find a little bit of plus side for them right now.
Let's find the rainbow.
The rainbow.
And there's the ball in the middle that Erdoya starts going to work on.
Yeah.
Why
Fraser
don't hit a ball in the middle?
Sequence.
I think at this point he's hit so few balls, they're out of sorts with even having a strategy. That ball's got to go over towards the Erdoya, into almost towards the alley. Single sideline towards Erdoya, or don't hit it. Don't hit it up the middle. He hits every ball that goes in the middle.
Hit it at Burrs.
Well, you can do that, or you can go I don't think, it's not that you couldn't, it's just where you're going to hit it. You can, I think, go towards him a little bit if you can get it to the single sideline. You just can't hit it in the middle.
Now, Erdoya, he's a player possessed out here in this match. And
he's playing
I
amazing.
just think when you come up against that,
well, you can not hit it to his forehand.
Right, exactly. This is the play. You've
like here, right? You can hit it there,
right?
And then he just lobs it back, which is fine because he's been so perfectly patient. But at least he's not crushing you. That's just going to be a winner. Great shot there from Fraser. Gotta love that. That'll be a spark.
So Fraser Morgan, we're down in Philly to Broderick Christian. 5-2, second set. Lost the first set and came back. And Fraser just, Broderick told me Fraser just was lights out and hit something like 26 cutter overheads in a row for winners and totally turned the match.
I mean, he might have to do that here, but see, this is where they're getting into trouble. Look, they're just going to go all over, get Morgan to scramble. And again, good blitz. That time they almost got the thing, but great touch volleys. I mean, Erdoya have done it time and time again. Blitz is coming, they just dink it away from him. Like, he could quite the put away he wants. I mean, it's like they're just like, oh.
It's like a drill.
Right, it's like they're drilling with each other. Right. Hey, you hit it to me, I'll volley it back. Right, it's like the drives are there, but they're not doing anything.
All right.
There are claps all around. Game for Fraser Morgan. All right. So it's 3-2 now for Hughes and Powers in the second set. And I did notice with the corner of my eye, we're watching this match here, that looked like Durant and Mitchell were coming on.
Yeah, so Morgan, forehand. Is that his first winner in the match? Off his forehand? I mean,
Maybe.
they've given him
Maybe.
nothing.
There have been very few. And
yeah.
that's at least a good positive sign. They fought through a game. They got a cutter from Fraser as a winner. And he might have to start adding a few more in there because he's going to have to start making a difference somewhere or the other.
He's going to have to, yeah, he's going to have to go on the attack a little bit.
Maybe at least at the net. In the backcourt, they're just freezing him out. You know, so Morgan.
Well, I'm talking about Morgan because Morgan
Oh,
got a
you're
good
talking
look
about
on
Morgan.
that forehand.
Oh,
And
okay.
I feel like he's going to have to, you know, you see Morgan sometimes where he's off the court, he kind of jumps into his shots. I mean, I think that's how he generates pace off a ball that doesn't present itself naturally for him for pace. And I like him taking some rips right now. There's nothing to lose. If they continue like this.
You might be right, actually, Patty. I mean, it's a way to look at it. How are you going to get yourself into this match? Take a few rips. I mean, at this point, the strategy and the way the play is being dictated, it's a losing direction one way or the other. If they take some rips, maybe they can get themselves back into it. They may lose a little quicker, you know, but the other way is not working. The only thing that seems like could work right now for them is if suddenly Burris or Doya just start missing balls, you know, which would be nice.
That or a rain delay.
Right,
a
or
rain
rain delay,
delay.
which doesn't really happen in paddle. We don't have rain delays, but yeah.
We have a
TV timeout.
A snowboard delay here.
Snowboard
or
delay. They're
something's
fixing
going on
the
there.
snowboard there, yeah.
All right, I see Burris, that little skip step back there. Like we said, Brad, that first set, lights out, incredible. One of the flawless platform tennis sets, most amazing sets I've seen. Here, Brad, should we do a quick shout out to our other national sponsor, Paddle Pro?
Yeah, we'll do that in a quick minute. We get a moment here. Paddle Pro is tremendous in the industry for years.
20 years, Bob Considine, providing great products for every racket sport you could ever play. Again.
See, there's it ball. They're trying to go to the Persians for him, but you know, Ordoya coming right over there. You got to slide the ball back into his side screen. They're trying to play Bursch, but it's not mattering because Ordoya's taking so many of those balls in there that they're forcing him to hit to Bursch's backhand. And Bursch has done a good job hitting three-quarter pace drives at their feet when they're off the net.
I almost think Morgan has to hit the ball harder at Burris
to
make Burris play and
that's
bring
fine.
him into it. The off speed is just lights out Ordoya.
Well, it can't
here.
be in the middle, or you got to start pushing it to the other side of the court. Go into Ordoya's screen. Look, there it goes again. He's on the other side of the court, hitting it from inside that second post, and they keep hitting it there. Hit it the other way.
Brad, you know when
there you go,
we
hit it
both
there. They can
learned-
hit it there all day long.
Right.
And now they're going to have to do it all day long, but at this point, they got to do it all day long, or they got to start taking some rips.
Yep. There's the cutter winner.
Hey, he's going to need it, and that's a great shot. It's a highlight reel, and they're going to need it right now to make this comeback happen.
Yep, he needs 24 more.
24 more.
Brad, when I learned paddle, you know, someone told me early on, look at the court and look at the boards, and you've got to pick your spot, and you've got to be able to hit spots on the court, on the boards. And if you can hit those spots, you can negate a lot of offense from your opponents. But you miss by 2 boards, and then you're
Right.
dead.
It's a very
on the next
precise
ball.
game. Very precise game for sure. And then we got an actual error out of Bursch. He lobbed the ball long in the last point. Shocking. They've made so few. Just been lights out.
It's interesting.
Oh, just again carving him up in that screen. Gets just enough spin on it.
Crowd's trying to cheer all the players on, Brad.
Yeah, they have.
Big Midwestern
run.
support team trying to.
Now we got people from all over here. I just saw somebody I know well from Springfield. Shout out to Hans Dupe, who just came in town. There's, all right, so we said 24 more?
23 more.
Knock it down to 23.
I'm counting.
23 more. Here you go. The comeback starts when he has 24
Working on
cutters.
my subtraction, Brad.
There you go. That's his third cut winner, but it's going to make a difference there. You know, those dynamic shots. And there's that shot. Here's Verdoya again. Forehands in the middle.
See right there, the movement from Fraser, Brad, going to his right, kind of Durant-like. I don't think you can do that. He's not getting away with that move at the net. I think he's got to hold his ground. You know, take away the up-the-line drive from Verdoya.
Yeah, I think they got to just stop giving forehands to Verdoya.
Yeah.
Like, just literally
Have we said that
stop.
before?
If he's hitting a forehand, you're making a mistake.
Right.
If you're not hitting it into a side screen or over inside towards the alley, you've got to go harder or firmer into or make him beat the screen, or, you know, he's just ball after ball. I mean, he does have one of the best forehands in the game, no question. I've always considered like a top 5, but interestingly enough, anyone can have moments, and part of what kind of spurred on the Lepever and Bostrom comeback yesterday in their second set, where they were taking that second head, was he actually did miss 2 or 3 forehands. And there's a nice leave. Adam Morgan doesn't jump for that ball. He lets it go to Fraser, who gets a drive. And they find the left hip there of Verdoya.
Volley error number 3 in this match for Burrs and Verdoya, maybe?
Yep. Burr's doing a good job with those kind of like just little pokey drives. And then he goes quick lob. He's right on the line.
What beautiful combination from Burrs out of that ad court there.
And there they go with just the medium softies. Yeah, great ball there. Finds the spot. There, get it to his backhand or don't hit it there at all. You're going to have to do it 800 times more, but they actually got a few errors from Burrs or Verdoya there. 4-2. So that's a big one. And this is exactly what they need. They got the cutters for the winner and a couple of errors from Burrs or Verdoya. They played solid. This is their time to capitalize. Obviously, we're running out of time. It's down 6-1, 4-2, but huge whack. A little finger wag from Verdoya. Yes, yes. Not in my house.
That's right, Brad.
Right.
Arnold.
You're right. No one comes back in my house. So 5-3 now for Hughes and Powers, trying to stretch that match to a third set.
Brad, when did you acquire the Estonian accent?
Well, I've spent many years in Estonia. I used to summer there, actually, quite a bit. My parents would send me to Estonian camp, and it was nice.
A lot of kids in your neighborhood go to Estonia for the summer?
Actually, surprisingly, no. Yeah, it was just me, Patty. I had a unique upbringing. Oh, that's just great dig. And there's
unbelievable.
number
Great combination.
22 more cutters for the comeback.
That's all it's going to take.
That was an incredible shot. What a great pace ball. Followed by a masterful cutter. Oh, smart lob volley. When the ball gets low, use the lob. What a shot. He actually stunned Burrs there.
Right
Got him
up
on
into
his
the
heels.
sun. I love the lob volley right there. So when people play against Durant, there's just you
come on,
can't
Morgan.
engage.
Oh, too good. Look at that. But that combination, that turnaround drive from Verdoya there, astounding. All right, so we'll mention we talked about Paddle Pro before. So paddlepro.com For over 20 years, Paddle Pro has been recognized as an industry leader in platform tennis. The knowledge, expert advice, vast inventory, and ultimate customer service will help any player find the perfect equipment to take their game to the next level. Paddle Pro is the only website to carry all platform tennis brands. For more information, go to www.paddlepro.com. And, you know, a little life in Morgan and Burst, but the answer's there. I mean, that was not a bad drive down the line, and he even took that low one and ripped the forehand. I mean, Redoya's just feeling it. You know, I can't fault any of that shot. That was a ridiculous screen drive from Redoya, and then Burst there to clean it up and push it down the line. So,
Brad, I want to know what Redoya had for breakfast. Because I gotta get me some
sausage rolls up there at the on the top, which were very good, provided by. For all the guests out there, provided by the Huntington Country Club. But what did Bursch and Redoya have for breakfast is a great question. In the old days, you just assumed it was Wheaties.
That's right.
Maybe today you had an acai bowl or...
Well, what did they feed you for breakfast in Estonia during camp?
Estonian camp is it's a lot of grains. And muesli. Muesli and yogurt.
That's right.
Oh, he gets an error out of him. I mean, they've made so few. A great drive. He's hit about 100 of those drives today, and it's one of the first errors they've got him to make. Great play. Cut. He's going. Oh, that's going to be a winner. The reach of Fraser. Great play.
It didn't go for a winner, but I'm going to 21, Brad.
We'll knock down the number.
It opened up the court.
Yeah, I think the mistake on that one, if you want to call it a mistake, was Bursch actually went forward too. Usually if your partner's going into the middle, you don't know if he's going to be able to take the net, so you hang behind. There it is. Knock the number down again, Patty.
20.
Down to 20, and that's great. Tyler Fraser making a difference now. It hasn't been easy to find a way to do it, but great job.
And if you're Erdora Burris, you don't want Fraser to catch fire here, Brad, on his overheads. And
there's an actual missed Erdoya forehand.
Yeah, maybe they have to think about lobbing a little bit more to Morgan. Morgan doesn't have that overhead variety that can break down teams like Fraser has.
They're staying alive. He's hit a few cutters. It's 5-3 now. See if they can get the break and continue this match on. Doesn't hurt. Did you ever get nervous at all, ever, Patty?
Absolutely. I'm nervous right now, Brad.
Nervous right now. Sorry if I'm making you nervous, but there they got him again on the screen. He's got to let that go up the wire. It's going to come off that side wire.
Oh, I think nerves are part of the excitement of being able to participate in competition. And, you know, obviously you're going to feel it more. These are pressure-filled moments. Burris started serving the second set, Brad. He had one shaky serving game in his first set and then overcame it. I was interested if this would become an important game off of his serve here.
It's definitely an important game. Up 5-3, they're trying to close it out. First is thrown in 2 faults here. 15-30. Oh, what volleying, but oh, through the legs, great move. Yeah, there you go. That's well played. He's gonna have to drop his paddle lower and get more height on these lobs.
And Erdoy's juice, he's hitting more pace on these overheads to Morgan right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels, I mean, they've looked for some attacks when they've had them. Burr's primarily been using the slow pushes. Erdoy has opened up some attack when the opportunities presented itself. The great thing is they know they can just go back to the push anytime they need it. All right, 30 all.
30 all, 5-3 for a berth. Once again, for Durham Burrs in the finals of the national championship.
All right, serving the box, step one, and he goes for the blitz, but dice. Great volley there from Erdoy behind. Perfectly bad.
That's how the match started. Anytime you see him teeing up on a drive, close in, shut it down.
Smart. Called it out. Wait, wide, okay. All right, so break point here. Staying alive. It's got a little interesting if it gets to 5-4.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Berchadori clearly been in front the whole way, but the armor's cracking a little here. They've made a couple of errors.
Well, I feel like Mick in particular is juicing some overheads here.
Called out. All right, and it's called in and overruled by the umpire. Our producer, John Scott, he thinks it was, I personally think it caught the line as well. Yep, and so that is 5-4 now, and things just got a little dicey now because, look, Berchadori have been in control the entire time. It's almost like but they didn't close the door there, and now they have an opportunity to get this to 5 all, and Berchadori finally have made an error or two, Patty. You know, a couple of faults in that game, a couple of volley misses in the game before.
Yeah, and I feel like they were winning this match and just crushed in the first set with all the off-speed type of overheads. And I feel like in particular, Erdoy's a little juiced here.
Yeah, and he sped it up a little bit more.
Yeah, and he just like challenged Tyler Fraser on a two-handed backhand.
Yep.
Why would you hit that shot?
I agree. You're right. You know, you got to stay through what took you the whole way. But you know what took him the whole way too is they did do the strategy the same way too, and Fraser and Morgan did hit one, and he actually missed a volley for the first time in the match. You know, it's bad timing and everything. Oh, great lob there. I love is how nonplussed it seems Burch and Erdoy are. They've just been so rock solid. The only little cracks have appeared just now. And it started in some respect, too, with Tyler Fraser finally at least hitting some cutters and things to put some balls away because they've needed that. Just a point here and a point there make all the difference in the world. He's been mostly invisible. They've taken him out of the game.
Again, now we're back to how this match started. Oh, see, I don't think that's a great shot.
Yes, and that's not how they were getting it there. They weren't challenging Fraser like that, and Fraser coming up with the goods. Let cord backhand drive winner. I think Hughes Powers might have just taken that second set. With a lot of clapping over there. So it's a good chance they're going 3. Is that lob out there, Patty?
That ball was long.
And see, here we get the little cracks in the armor and in the strategy as well. They've challenged Fraser a couple of times now, then they got burned both times. Switch at the net. And look at Erdoy going to everywhere to get that forehand, and it's been working just lights out for them. That's just great lobbing. He's good. Perfect choices of lobs. Up down the line, lob cross court. Keep one player off the net at all times. That's net. There they go. Getting a few errors and a little fight left in. Little cracks in the Berchadori armor that's been so rock solid. Game point for Fraser for 5 all. right at the nick. Oh! He was trying to reduce the number of cutters. He goes for the big one in a huge moment. Wasn't quite set on that one. It almost looked a little more afterthought-ish. All right, back to deuce.
Wow, and Erdoya got the look he wanted, Brad. Made his move on that side screen.
I mean, that's, sorry, that wasn't deuce, that was game. That was amazing.
From 4-1, 5-all.
Yep.
This is what makes Fraser Morgan. I mean, they are incredible. The score does not seem to matter to them.
Well, they've hung in there, and they've made some difference. You know, Fraser's made a difference, but we've also seen a loss of the tactics on a few crucial moments from Erdoya, and you got to close. You let a team hang around. This thing is now, you know, very much in the balance here. Dig and long, and we're getting some fire from Fraser Morgan. Good news.
And it feels like now Burris and Erdoya are the ones reacting, Brad.
Yeah, they've, you know, started, but they have lost a little bit of their way. Fraser's coming alive, inserted himself in the match with the cutters, and Burris and Erdoya definitely lost track of their tactics. You know, they had him in the straitjacket before. It's opened up now. Love 30. Erdoya can right this ship, though. It's not a done deal yet. It's a big game, though. This will be 4 games in a row. 5 games in a row, actually. No, 4 games in a row for Morgan and Fraser. All right, 15-30. Out.
That was a huge point right there, Brad.
30 all. Would you like Morgan not to take a strike at that? I think that's his game. I don't know. Obviously, if he makes it and it's a winner, you say, great shot. If he doesn't, you say, he shouldn't have taken it. But
no, he had to hit it.
I think it's his game.
I think the line was there for him on that shot.
He's going to hit that one.
What a reach for Morgan.
Keep on it. All right, this backhand, they challenge Fraser again. He doesn't come up with the goods that time. Oh, love that return. Not in the sense that he hit him, but that he took a good clean strike. He went right at Burris there, caught him in the chest. Nice confident shot. Ooh. A little tangled up. Morgan and Fraser, make sure they know who's getting that ball.
You see Fraser trying to insert himself in here.
Well, he's reactive on his screens. You know, most people just go right to the spot. He's sort of, oh, what hands from Fraser!
Unbelievable.
Insane stuff. That is incredible. Well, we've asked Fraser to insert himself, and insert himself he does. Some huge stuff. This is for a break to go up 6-5. just on the outside of the line. It's a dangerous shot there, but nicely done. Burrs was conservative on that big point. Look at Bedoya coming all the way.
And what a volley right on the line. Fraser.
Fraser just grunting on every ball now. That is a great play from Bedoya. Reads it. Wait. Let's see what happened. He's bouncing up. I was actually thought he might even fall into net. He did have a little turn there.
He had to.
I was worried he was going to fall into the net.
Right,
If that
he had
still
to
happened,
stop and not touch the net.
and not touch the net, but I think he turned his ankle a little bit. So he's going to walk that off for a second. You get a little injury timeout here. That was a huge point. I'll tell you, Tyler Fraser, what hands. We catch that one on the highlight reel there, John Scott?
Brad, the ability of Bedoya right there to not run into the net, that is an incredible athletic play. He's going 100 miles an hour.
Oh, and there's an ace, and he
Wow.
comes right back with an ace.
I think his ankle's okay.
I tell you, they didn't teach me that at Estonian camp.
Oh, you had to go back the next summer for that serve, Brad.
I'll go here.
Yeah, great transition balls. Oh, that great dig from Fraser. Huge moment.
And
Gutsy.
you just heard Fraser calling out, I got it. He wants the ball right now, Brad. You know, great players want the ball in these incredibly pressure-filled moments. And that's Tyler Fraser right now.
Wow, just a routine overhead a little long. Gotta shake it off for Bedoya. Another game point for Fraser Morgan. Incredible. What a turnaround, right? Moments ago, it was sort of like a little dead and buried. They're 4-1, then 5-2. And now we're up 4 games in a row. Possibility for Fraser Morgan. And there goes one. Another incredible gutsy serve. Hard, a lot of spin. Fraser tries to take it off the deck, just almost whiffs it.
Brad, I just think, you know, when you have someone playing lights out like Tyler Fraser right now, you know, Drew Broderick just chimed in and texted me, you know, he said it's the Fraser show right now. And Bedoya and Burris need to remember what their plan was at the beginning of this match.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely,
here they go.
buddy.
They're going back to it. I'm surprised Tyler didn't insert himself right there. Here he goes.
That's out. But this is the plan, right? And definitely this comeback was fueled by some moments where they lost track of their plan, sped it up too much, or started going into Fraser on a couple of crucial moments.
Right, and I felt it was Bedoya who sped up play with his overheads.
And that's out. And what a hold from Bedoya. He comes up with a couple of huge gutsy serves. And Fraser Morgan had a couple of break points there. That was a huge turnaround.
Brad, quick shout out, kudos to Jackie Cameron, our APTA tour director. She's done a wonderful job managing the matches all weekend. Crazy weekend scheduling wise. Ann Waldron, Jerry Vion on the live streaming. Lisa Redloff is up in the umpire chair, calling the third set of the Hughes Power Durant Mitchell match. Lisa's done it all this weekend. Great job. Dwayne Hayden.
Absolutely. It takes a village, and a lot of incredible volunteers out here today. They've had court attendance in between the matches, players getting scores, and makes all of it run. And Tyler Fraser lowering the number again. He just is making it happen, and I love it.
We're down to 17, Brad, I think?
Down to 17 more cutters for the win.
The one he missed wide off the frame, I counted that as well.
All right, 15 love. Huge, huge put away there. Going again. Yeah, that's just so good. He just, Fraser a little out of position, and Bedoya can hook that forehand It actually, you don't know where he's going to go. Last second, he gets the outside of the ball, hooks it in there. Just a stunner.
Yeah, Brad, you're right. You're spot on. You don't know where he's going. He hits a huge amount of inside-out forehands. He just held that, went up the line with it.
Oh, he's got one of the top 5 forehands in the game for sure.
Top 5.
Yeah, top 2 or 3.
I'm going higher than 5.
Sure. I'm just leaving a number, letting some room. I don't want to have the conversation of all the other forehands in the game.
Nah.
But, yeah, right there.
Been there, done that.
You know, it's pretty automatic. And it's been lights out today. Any ball that has been even near Burr's forehand, he's taken 90% of them. And there's another great cutter opportunity. He doesn't quite execute that one as well as the other. Inserting himself in the cutoff volley there. Fraser getting much more active here. That's, oh, Burrish! Oh, he held that! Oh, what a shot! He got there ease, and he held it for a half a second. Fraser moved to his right, and he pushes it behind him. You see that so really in a deft drop shot winner. Patty, that was amazing. We're getting some highlight reels here, for sure. Exciting stuff down the stretch here. Good burst. Again, they're reading it pretty well now. They're seeing when he goes his paddle completely flat and making early moves up. I mean, that was a really good one from Fraser. The burst started early. Great play. Now here's where they got it. Yep, back to the formulas, Burrish. Push. Nice. Ooh.
Yeah. I just would not engage Fraser here.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Patty, for sure. Oh boy, that's just a dumb shot and a great move. Well, that's what I was saying before. He's hitting the waterfalls, and you do have to challenge him that way. The problem with that one was Fraser saw it way early, right? And is a great play, just a great read from Fraser. Maybe it wasn't a dumb shot, but it was a great read from Fraser.
It wasn't his best choice, I would say, Brad. He had some other fine choices.
Well, he thought he was faking him out, and Fraser was all over it. Oh, what a slippery drive. I love it. Nice play. Fraser stays up with his position. He counts on his hands, but Verdoya gets him. See, I'm okay with that. If you go hard or deep and make Verdoya have to spin around, you just can't dump it easy into the middle. Let Verdoya take that ball. Here it is. He goes for it. Can't fault him. It's been one of the things that's been going for it. He wasn't quite set up on that, and now we're here at match point. There it is. You love that reaction from Fraser Doya. That's some good stuff, man. I mean, Patty, what a match. What a finish, right?
Yeah, I love the Fraser Morgan came back in that second set. I mean, that just shows you what grit they have. You said the only way they were going to work their way back into it was to grind it out, and grind they did. And kudos to Doya and Burst. They just had an amazing game plan to start the day, Brad, and executed beautifully. Never seen a set like that first set they played in terms of their volleys.
Yeah, pretty flawless, without a doubt. But it also is a good testament to show you how you have to close out a match, too, because they were playing this perfectly flawless match all the way through. And then you get to that moment where they had a couple of moments where they let their strategy go a little, and then Tyler Fraser recognized the moment to, start to hit a few cutters to try to insert him and insert himself. He did, and just a heck of a second set. Some incredible highlight reel shots there. That little dink drop over the side. Just amazing stuff there.
That was the shot. Purrs hit that shot. That was the most unbelievable shot I've seen in the last 4 days, Brad.
Yeah, incredible stuff. So that's a wrap here for us on court number 2 here at the men's semifinals here at the APTA Nationals. Go check out our other court on the YouTube channel, court number 1, where Hughes and Powers are doing battle against Durant and Mitchell. So check that out, and we'll be back right here for the women's finals at 11 o'clock. So stay tuned, everyone. Patty, it was a pleasure.
Brad, thanks so much.
All right.
They've done it again. Johan Durant and Stephen Mitchell are the APTA national champions for the second year in a row.
There you have it, your women's APTA national champions, Florentina Harnisch and Anna Maria Sabori.